stop lying. You have no idea how to checkmate with a horse and a bishop, and it's not your fault. Even Hikaru Nakamura struggles with it.
And he needs to get this way. He's going.
Hikaru with a draw for.
Every time someone tries to explain it, they make it sound extremely complicated.
When he takes, you go knight f4. If he goes check, you take the queen. He takes, and you go king h8. If he goes like rook g6, go knight c3, rook f7. You...
But it's easier than checkmating with 8 queens. You will learn in literally just 4 minutes. If not, you can report this channel for Nazi behavior or something. Based on a survey, only 6% of players know this checkmate. So the other 94% of millions of chess players worldwide have no idea how to do this, which is crazy and unhealthy. I don't know how it's unhealthy, but it probably is. Also, I'm playing a 3200 rated stockfish, but it doesn't really matter. It's such a basic pattern. You can literally defeat God with it. I learned this shit 25 minutes ago. Now I'm pre-moving it. That's how easy it is. And now I will explain how you can do the exact same thing. Alright, so first things first, we have a dark square bishop, which means the checkmate will happen on a1 or on h1.
What?
So our opponent will most likely try to go to a light square corner to avoid getting checkmated. And that's fine. You know why? Because getting them out of that corner is, you know what I'm gonna say, fucking easy. Alright, here we go. So let's bring the king closer, and the king will be the absolute most important piece because it's the only piece that can create this wall in front of it, controlling 3 different squares at the same time. So this will of course push your king a little bit further to the side of the board, which is exactly what we want. We don't really care if your king goes to a light square, to a dark square, to another board. We don't care. As long as it goes to the edge of the board, we can start pre-moving. Alright, so right now your king cannot move forward to these squares, but it looks like he's escaping to b4, so now we have to use our bishop to help our king. And he goes back, so now we move forward. And now he goes to the side. He cannot move to any of these squares. The bishop is also controlling this guy. So let me just bring the knight forward. Now he goes back. Now we move forward with the king, and now he's finally in the corner. He's like, haha, I'm on a light square. You'll never get me.
Are you sure about that?
Alright, so now we don't want your king to move forward. So let me block all these 3 squares at the same time by going king to b6. And now you cannot move forward, ever. Now let me take you down to the other corner. No, you want to stay here. That's fine. Now let me go bishop to e3, and you will never be able to escape to a7. And now the king will keep dancing between these 2 squares. When you get to this position, you just want to bring the knight to c7. But why c7, you may ask? Well, with the knight on c7, we're controlling a8, so they won't be able to go there anymore. Alright, so what's the path to take this knight to c7? I see 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we start with knight to e4, knight to d6, knight to b5, and knight to c7. And now the king will never be able to go to a8. Beautiful. And now what's the plan? We want to take away the b8 square. And how do we do that? We just waste a tempo. What the hell does that mean? That means we move the bishop anywhere on this diagonal. Of course, not to a7, that would blunder the bishop. Let's go bishop to g1. Now we're forcing the king to go to the right. Look at this, the king is moving this direction, which is fine. That's exactly what we want. And now we don't want the king to go back to b8, so we go bishop to a7, and the king is forced to go to d8. Okay, so very important and easy note. Once your knight is on c7, from now on, you will only move your knight like this. You see this beautiful W shape? That's actually the name of this method, the W pattern or something like that.
W's in the shot.
Alright, so we start with the W method right now. Knight to d5, and now we don't go knight to e7. That would be obviously a free knight. So first we go king to d6, and oh no, the king is escaping. Oh shit, we did something wrong. No, we didn't. This is part of the process, and the king is not going anywhere. First we go knight to e7. Notice that the knight is controlling all of these squares, so the king can pretty much only go to the dark squares. But oh shit, what do you know? We have a dark square bishop.
Hello there.
So we don't want the king to go to h6, so we go bishop to e3. Now the king is escaping this way, but look at this beautiful pattern right here. The knight is controlling these 2 squares. The bishop is controlling these squares. The king, these squares. So you have to go back. Your king is not going absolutely anywhere. So now we just have to waste another tempo. Let's go bishop to f4. The king goes back, and now let's take away these 2 squares. How do we do that? Bishop to e5. Now the king has to go back. This is so funny. And now we go king to e6. The king will try to escape, but notice that the king is really not escaping anywhere. We just waste a tempo, just like we did back here. And now we take away the d8 square with the bishop.
Why are you running?
And now we keep going with the W shape. Now we go knight to f5. The king goes here. Knight to g7, and that's the last move of the W. Now we defend the knight. The king can go here. King to g8, and we keep restricting the king. You're not going anywhere. King to f8, is the king escaping? Nope, we're going to take away that square. Bishop to d6, and then you have to go back to g8. And now at this point, it's the only point in the game where we have to calculate just a couple moves. See, we want to move the knight like this. So knight to f5. And if we go knight to h6 right now, that would actually be a draw. So first, we actually have to waste a tempo. That's it. And now we can do that because now when we go to h6, that's a check. And the king is forced to go to the corner. And now bishop to f6. That is checkmate. That is so goddamn easy. All right, so now I'm going to try with the light square bishop. So it's not going to be here, but it's going to be backwards. But essentially same thing. First, let me corner your king. Just like that. Bring the knight in. Where you going, buddy? Where you going? Let me just go here. Good. Okay, so now you can go forward to any of these two squares. So now, let me block this square first. Now you're trying to go here. I might just... Okay. Okay, so I have to bring my knight to f7. That's first. Just like that. Okay, now we have the pattern. Now I can start pre-moving. But as I'm looking at things backward, I don't want to mess it up. Should be just like this. I block you, and then I do this, do that. You want to escape, but I waste the tempo. We keep going with the W. Check. Protect the knight. Here. Here, waste the tempo. Here, mate. Beautiful. Bro, I was so freaked out about this checkmate my whole life. Like, holy shit, I only have a knight and bishop. Let me just offer a draw and not waste much of my time. But yeah, as you can see, it's pretty goddamn easy. Try with stockfish at the max level. Doesn't really matter. It's the same pattern regardless of the strength of your opponent. But I guess at 3200 stockfish will make it a little bit more complicated. So try it out. Let me know how long it takes you to fully pre-move that shit. That's gonna be super fun. But yeah, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video.